guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I hope you've all been doing really well, and I'm really sorry for taking a while to post new videos. I've just been really busy, but I'm here today filming another video, and this one is going to be talking about my top kind of favourite recommendations, witchy book recommendations for you guys. So without further ado, I'm going to get into it. So these are books that I would recommend to other witches, Wiccans, Pagans, and they're not necessarily beginner books or advanced books, they're just books that I've really enjoyed and that I think would benefit people. So yeah, I'm going to start talking about them now. So one of the books that I would recommend is this one, which is The Magical Year by Daniel Forest. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but this book is what am I saying? This book talks about like all the different Sabbats and kind of all the seasonal celebrations, and goes through those. Does this one? So I haven't actually read the whole thing, but I have read most of it. But it's really good. It goes through all of them, and it tells you the dates in the Northern Hemisphere and the Southern Hemisphere as well, and it talks about like what it's all about and different rituals and traditions that you can do, and kind of just gives you loads of different ideas. So if you're someone who is practicing solitary for the Sabbats, you don't have a coven or a group of friends that you can really celebrate with, it's really good for giving you several ideas. It's not just giving you one idea that you can do. If something maybe doesn't quite fit with you or isn't practical, it just gives you loads of different kind of ideas and just teaches you a lot about the different Sabbats and what they're all to do with. So each chapter is about a different event, and there's lots of pictures in it as well, and it's really good. So I would highly recommend this if you're wanting to find out about different Sabbats and things like that. Another book that I would recommend that I also haven't finished is this one, but I'm pretty much almost done with it. This is the Wicca Handbook by Eileen Holland. I got this recently from a shopping trip in Darlington. Oh dear. And it's just really good. I would say this one would suit both beginner witches and Wiccans, whatever you want to call it, who have been practicing for a while. It just seems like a really good go-to book. It's full of loads and loads of correspondences for loads of different topics. Like she goes through like she tells you about like different types of magic and the introduction to Wicca, like what you'd expect to find normally, but then she goes into sort of spellcraft, and she does loads of different like she tells you loads of different things about different spells and different connections with things. So she talks about fertility and how to do fertility charms and different correspondences that you could do for fertility, like law and justice and love, protection. And the thing that I like about this book, she's not scared to kind of tell you the really nitty-gritty things. Like she will give you a really strong like protection spell, like if someone's attacking your family or something, and she will give you that strong spell that is going to possibly even harm this person, as well as the kind of gentler ones as well. She gives you kind of everything, and she gives you like the love spells, like the ones that are bringing love to you, and then the ones that where you're kind of stealing someone's love, or like, you know, if someone's in a relationship already and you want that person, she tells you different spells to do that as well, but she gives you warnings. Like she doesn't just give you it and be like, yeah, if you want to do that spell you can do it. She gives you like warnings, like saying if you do this, beware of this consequence because this might happen, that could happen, so be sure of what you want. And she tells you everything, which I think is really good, because I think especially for like new young kind of people coming to the path, they might be like, oh, well, I really want to do this love spell that I found on the internet, but there's not necessarily going to be any warnings for them about the consequences of that. Whereas if they read about it in the book that they might have, such as this one, then they're going to have those warnings and they're going to be like, right, that might not be the best thing to do. So I just think that's a really good thing to have in here, like, so you do have all the spells that you need. So it does cover quite a lot, like it goes to more sort of advanced workings as well, which I think they're kind of more advanced, but like it just gives you a lot of information, and like I say, she just gives you loads of different correspondences for pretty much like anything. So everything you would want a correspondence for really is probably in here. So yeah, I haven't finished the whole book, so there's the like back section that I haven't finished, which I think talks about different correspondences in that one a little bit more. But I would highly recommend this one to a lot of people, beginners especially, but just generally for everybody. I think it's a really good book to have in your collection, and really useful. So this is probably more of a beginner book. I would recommend this as this was my first ever book that I ever picked up on Witchcraft. And this one's by Saraya. It's called The Witch's Companion, and it is like a companion. It just it kind of goes through everything as a beginner book, but it covers a lot. So she goes through the basics, like what witchcraft is, what Wicca is, what paganism is. She talks about different disciplines, so she talks about covens, solitaries, kitchen witches, green witches, hent witchcraft, herbal witchcraft, Dianic witches, Gardnerian Wicca, Alexandrian Wicca, druids, eclectic practices. She talks about a lot of it. She goes through the different cycles of the moon. She also talks about the different 12 moons as well. So like, you know, like the, what is it, like the wolf moon, storm moon, things like that. And talks about what they are and what they're to do with. She goes through all the planets. She talks about the reed. She talks about how to cast a circle and all the different parts to cast in a circle. She goes through initiations, so initiations you could do as a solitary or as in a coven. She talks about the experts. She talks about hand fasting ceremonies and naming ceremonies. She talks about all the different Sabbats. She talks about raising magical energy. She talks about the chakras. Spell casting, she talks about the different tools, loads of different correspondences and components for rituals, meditation, not magic, candle magic. She's got ritual verses in here. She's just got loads in here. It just covers quite a lot. For a beginner book, it just kind of gives you a little bit of everything. So it's a really good sort of start off point to begin your path with. So that's what I would recommend as a beginner book. People have probably heard of this book already. This is Scott Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs, but this is definitely a favourite of mine. I like working with herbs a lot, and I like to know all the different kind of properties of different plants and herbs and things like that, and this is really good for that because it kind of goes through all different like magical uses that you can use. So if you like making like spell bags or spell bottles, or just growing things in your garden to bring in certain energies, this is quite a good book to use as reference. If you like to write about herbs in like your Book of Shadows or Grimoire, this is a good resource. So I think this needs to be on like everyone's shelf really, because it is really good. So this is definitely a must, I would say. If you don't have this book and you want to work with herbs, I would definitely recommend picking this one up because it really is worth it. Another book is by the same author, and this is Wicca by Scott Cunningham. This is just another really good beginner book to start you off if you are, especially if you are a solitary Wiccan specifically, and you're looking for a bit of guidance. This is a really good one. I mean, I think a lot of people have this book, and a lot of people have read this book, and like I say, a lot of people recommend this book already. I've probably already recommended this book. countless times, but it really is good because it just kind of goes through everything. So it is a nice book to just kind of refer back to, and I mean, he's got different recipes in there for different things, because I think this is split into a couple, like several different sections as well. Yeah, like it goes through theory a bit, and then actually practicing, and then like the Book of Shadows section he's got at the back. So that's kind of like your reference point of the book that you can start kind of practicing from, and then I imagine build your own Book of Shadows from that. But yeah, it's just a really good one to start off with, and this is another really good beginner book to begin your journey with, and one that I'd recommend to a lot of people. And then the last one that I'm going to talk about, I haven't read this cover to cover because that would take me about 5 years, but it's this one, which is Solitary Witch by Silver Ravenwolf. Now I know not everybody likes Silver Ravenwolf, but I think this book is probably one of her better ones. I've not read all of other ones, but I've heard people talking about them, so I can't really form my own opinion of those. Like, I think she did Teen Witch, which has a bit of a mixed review of it, but I haven't read that one, so I can't really say my opinion on that one. But this one is really good in my opinion for just kind of covering everything. If you want a big reference book that you can just go to find information about something, this covers lots and lots of different things, so it's really good. It goes through loads of different things like Sabbaths. She's got stories in here as well, which is quite good. Different meditations, correspondences. She just talks about all sorts. Like, I'm pretty sure she talks about everything because there's just so much in here. She's got different rituals in here. I would say if you haven't got that much money but you want to buy like some witchcraft books that are really gonna set you up, so you don't need to buy loads of different ones, I would avoid getting like the basic sort of small or beginner books like this if you're a beginner, and try and get like a big book that kind of goes through everything, because although this is going to cost that a little bit more, or maybe a bit more, I don't know how much this costs, like on Amazon or something, because it's got American prices on the back, which don't mean a lot to me. But like it covers a lot, so I think this is going to answer more of your questions, like a book like this, than a book like this. Like, I think at the end of this, reading this, you're still going to have loads and loads of questions, whereas when you read this, you're going to have less questions because it's going to cover more and it's going to answer more for you, and it's going to send you on different paths of different research. Like, you're going to be able to research lots more things because you're going to know about more things from this one. If that makes sense. So I would definitely recommend something like this, or this one specifically. There are lots of other ones, like big ones like this, like the Raymond book learned the complete book of Witchcraft. That's quite an extensive one. I don't have that one myself, so I can't say if that's a good one to get. It is one that I am interested in getting, but it's also a really big book, and I have got lots of other books to read. But if you have any recommendations of books that you think I should take a look at or look into, or anything that I've maybe missed about these ones, or just generally your opinions of different books, and just if you want to talk about your favourite books, or if we have any favourites in common, just let me know in the comments. It'd be nice to have a chat with some of you, but that's kind of it for now. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you enjoy my videos, then please subscribe to my channel, and make sure that you press that bell button so that you get notified. And yeah, thank you for watching, and hopefully I will see you again in the not too distant future.